as in the classroom was, it didn't start well. And it really didn't start well the whole week before the first week of school. I student taught at C.D. Hilton High School. I taught there from January until the end of May. And they offered me a contract. It was one of the best days of my life. So I came back and I was doing that the week before the first week of school where you have all your meetings and people are planning out their year. And on Monday I felt great, Tuesday pretty good, Wednesday not so hot. By Thursday I was walking through the halls like I was scared to death. And my department chair, this guy named Mr. Bailey, you're going to see him in a second. Mr. Bailey pulled me in and said, what's your problem? And I said, I don't know what to do on Monday. I'm scared to death what happens when the students come on Tuesday. It's the day after Labor. And he said, what are you talking about? You taught here all last year. You're fine. You're going to do great. I hired you. I hired you for a reason. You can teach. I said, Mr. Bailey, I'm not afraid of Wednesday. Wednesday, I started student teaching in January. The classes were all going. All I had to do was take over from a teacher that already set it up. I don't know how to start a school year. What do you do with the first day of school? And he said, wow, that's interesting that you asked that. He goes, huh? He said, well, you're off second period. I said, I am. He said, okay, go to your first period class and just do what the administrator tell you to do. Because there was a first day, first week packet. And the first day of the first class is like the most boring day ever. You have to go through the bus. So you go, and I went into that first day of class, and 25 10th graders walk in, and I say, hi, I'm Mr. Carter, and I'm going to teach you geography this year. Would everyone please pick up one of the packets that I put on your desk? And we spent the next 49 minutes going through this packet. You know, I need your bus permission slip form, and I need your school lunch form. And we went through all the forms, and then I read through about 4 pages of rules and regulations. And at the end, it was about 49 minutes into a 50-minute class, and I was standing there in front of them, and I got to the end. I was done. I said, I've got a minute left. Does anyone have any questions? And they all just looked at me. I stood there. A minute's a long time. And the bell sounded, and I heard like his go, thank God. And I was like, thank God. And I go down to Mr. Bailey's classroom because he said, just come in my second period and watch what I do, and maybe you'll get some ideas how I start the school year. And I said, that's great. So I went in and I get to his, and I was a roving teacher at that time, so I had all my stuff. And he said, there's a desk in the very back corner. Just sit there and just watch, and you might get some ideas. I said, great. So Mr. Bailey, now you have to understand who Mr. Bailey is. Mr. Bailey is my polar opposite. Mr. Bailey is about, he was 5'2", 120 pounds, soaking wet, wore a bow tie and he called them braces every single day of his entire teaching career. He was an absolutely incredible, he looked like a Prussian officer. If he had those little horse whips, I mean, he could ramrod straight. I couldn't keep up with him walking. He would walk so fast that he had a forward lean. he was an absolutely phenomenal man and an incredible intellect. And so he's standing there, and he would stand at the door, and now these are 9th graders on the first day of school. They're scared witless, and they're coming to the door, and he would bow, shake their hand, yes, go fun, and he greeted every single student that came to the door. And then there was still about 30 seconds till the bell was ringing, and he was out in the hall talking to a colleague. And about 3 seconds before the bell rings, he turns on his heel, starts walking into class, the bell rings, and he says, I am Mr. Bailey! and he says, what is a big question? And the kids, everyone in the classroom, I was like, and I'm going through my second period. He's supposed to start with the nurse's office. And the kids are sitting there, and he just stands there. What is a big question? And the kids, like, you know, maybe they're in just a little bit. And the kid goes, why am I here? And he says, why are we here? And he writes metaphysics on the board. And within 4 minutes, He's got these kids foaming at the mouth. They're so excited with this crazy little man. And he's talking about the basis of civilization and why people learn and why people come together as communities and societies. He pulls out underneath, he had stashed underneath one of the chairs. He always told me later, I always put it under a little boy's chair. And the boy, and he says, open up that box under your chair. The kid opens it up, and it's a figurine of the Venus of somewhere in India. And it's this naked, fat lady who's sitting there, and he says, what is it? And the kid always looks at it, and it's a naked lady. And the kid goes, I don't know. And he walked over. And he'd take it from the boy and hand it to a girl. And say, what is it? She'd say, it's a nude female form. He'd say, a nude female form. This is 9th grade humanities. We will be looking at many, many nude. And are any of you not mature enough to handle looking at a nude female form? And all the kids were like, yeah. We can look at naked pictures. So I'm telling you guys, in a matter of seconds, he had turned the class from being really, they had just gone through what I did to my first period, remember? And now they were in this world of imagination and creativity and big ideas. And those students were his from the first second of class.